about why everything that's good doesn't feel good. So it's amazing how we're so confused by our experiences. We think our experiences are confirming our life, but a lot of times the things we're experiencing are confusing our life. Like our dream, right? So we have these dreams, right? Then we go from dreams to we start proclaiming our dreams, and we start progressing towards our dreams, and then before you know it, we have all these protagonists because we have a dream, right? They hate us. And so dreams then bring on the drama, right? So the dream, when you have the dream, you're excited, right? I got a dream. I have a dream, right? I'm excited. But then the drama comes and I become exhausted. And I become so exhausted in the drama that I'm tempted to forget about the dream. And then finally, I step into my destiny. When I step into my destiny, now I'm experiencing exhilaration. So I go from excited to exhausted to exhilarated because of the dreams and the drama and the destiny of my life. How many of y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Does that resonate with y'all? Because like for me, I'm like, I've had so many seasons where I had this dream and I'm working towards this dream, and it just seemed the more I worked on it, the more drama it brought. And then I'm going through this drama and I'm exhausted, and I feel like I can't think straight. I feel like I can't see straight. And then all of a sudden, I come through the drama, and all of a sudden, the glories of the destiny are greater than the gore of the drama. And I'm like, wow, I wish I could have had a clearer vision of this while I was in the valley of drama, right? And so Joseph had a dream, and Joseph made the mistake of telling his brothers his dreams. The scripture says they hated him for his words and for his dreams. I want y'all not to be surprised when people in your family can't understand your dream. They can't comprehend the dream that God gave you, right? And some people don't like your dream because they're not the star of your dream, right? They don't like your dream because your dream elevates you above them. Just because the people around you can't see what God placed in you, don't make the mistake of thinking that God can't see it. He can see it because he's the one that put it there. He's the one that looked at your vessel and said, that's a good place for that vision. That's a good place for that dream. That's a good place for that seed. That person right there, I'm gonna use them to do something. And when they do it, everybody looking at him won't be able to blame it on nobody but me. So Joseph's brothers hated him. They hated him so much, some of them wanted to kill him, and the rest of them said, no, let's don't kill him. Let's make some money off this deal. Let's sell him. They sold him into slavery, right? And then they sell you, and now you go into a foreign country, you're like, I didn't even do anything, right? Well, so Jacob's sons came back and lied to their dad. Now there's a famine in the land. Joseph comes up with a plan for the famine. So Pharaoh says, well, since you're the one who understood the dream, what's the plan? I'm going to put you in charge of it. Well, Joseph said, here's the plan. When things are going good, we're going to put back 20%, and we're going to save 20% in the 7 years of plenty. So that saving 20% was, they were taxing the people 20%, and then they were saving 20% of all that they were getting, and they were storing it up in storehouses for the 7 years of plenty. What do we learn from that? What we learn from that is we need to learn to think negative when things are positive. How's that for a motivational speech? What does that mean? When things are going good, store up the good times because the bad times are coming. We know that life works in seasons. Yeah, it's summertime right now, but winter's coming, right? See, the ant is smart enough to think winter all summer, right? When things are going good, you have to be preparing for when things are going bad. Like if there's a lesson that I've learned that lesson. Like the first time I created wealth, I was blessed to create what was decent income and revenue. Man, I bought the $1 million mansion, and I bought the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cars, and I was living like a king. Then all of a sudden it dried up. It wasn't all of a sudden, but it felt all of a sudden to me, right? And we went from making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to a couple years later living on borrowed money for 2 years. So guess what? Now, oh, we live so far below our means ain't never gonna catch up. We ain't never gonna catch up to living up. Like, we live so far below our means, and I have some nice stuff, but like, I don't live in $1 million mansion or multi-million-dollar mansion. I might one day, but it ain't today, right? And I could pay cash for a multi-million-dollar mansion if I want to. Go write a check for one right now, but that ain't what I'm fixing to do. Why? Because hard times are coming. You gotta think winter all summer. You gotta think bad when things are good. You gotta think negative when things are positive. That's what Joseph said. That's what Joseph told Pharaoh. And that's what they did for 7 years. When things were going good and everybody else was partying, Joseph was preparing while they were partying. Here's how bad this famine was. The whole world ran out of food, except for Egypt. That includes Jacob and his sons. Okay, watch what happens next. They went down to Egypt, bought some food. Joseph recognized his brothers, but his brothers didn't recognize him. He said, I'm about to have some fun with these jokers. He said, y'all know y'all spies. Y'all ain't down here to buy no food. Y'all came down here to spy out the land. No, we are the sons of a man who has 12 sons and one son is not, and he still has one younger son at home. Nah, you lying. You know you're lying. You're a spy. You came to spy out the land so you can come in and take our food. No, really, we brought money and everything. Here, we're willing to pay for it. Said, okay, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Just to prove that you're not spies, you said you got a younger brother. Okay, here's what you do. One of y'all stay here with me. I'm gonna sell y'all some food, and then y'all go get your youngest brother and you bring him to me, so you can prove to me. Then I'll know you're not spies. Joseph just wanted to see his little brother. He said, okay. So they went back home with the food. They got home. The money that they brought, Joseph instructed his servants to put it back in their bags. Now they get home, their brother Simeon's still in Egypt. They go back, they open up their sack, they're like, Dad, I don't know what happened, but we paid him for the food, and then we came, and then he kept Simeon because he said he's not going to let Simeon go unless we bring Benjamin back. So that's when we come into the story, okay? Here's what Jacob said. Jacob said, me have ye bereaved of my children Joseph, and Simeon is not. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not. That bereaved means literally you've aborted my children. You've murdered my children. Their conscience, can you imagine how their conscience is beating them up? Their father even suspected they were the ones who killed Joseph. Like, said, ye have bereaved me of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and you will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. How many ever felt that way? All these things are against me. I lost my job. I don't have any money. All these things are against me. The doctor gave me bad news and my spouse wants a divorce. All these things are against me, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. Hear me when I tell you. You cannot know whether something is good or bad looking at it through the windshield of your life. You will only be able to tell if it's good or bad when you get past it and look in the rearview mirror. What do we learn from that? That all these things may feel like they're against you, but they're not. Stop lamenting your lamentations. Stop cursing your cursings. You're cursing your curses. Start asking yourself, what does God want me to get from this trial? Instead of begging God to get you out of the trial. Because God's more interested in you getting something from the trial than he is you getting out of the trial. See, God can take something painful and turn it into something powerful. God can take something difficult and turn it into something dynamic. And so what we've got to do is we've got to learn how to trust that God is doing what he's doing, and what he's doing is more important than what any human is doing to us or against us. All these things are against me? No, all these things are for me. So in America, like segregation, racism, all that stuff, I think sometimes we forget the strength that we would not have had our ancestors not gone through that struggle. Because there is no strength without struggle.